Welcome to Mining Review Africa at DRC Mining Week 2026. Today I'm speaking to Samukelo Madlabane, Event Director Mining at VUKA Group. Sam, welcome.
Thank you very much, Rochelle.
Give us an overview of this year's event.
So, this year's event was actually our largest edition to date. We had some 350 exhibitors who participated. We launched new areas, exhibition areas that is, and we also saw record numbers from an attendance perspective. I can't give you the final number just yet. The team is busy telling up the numbers, but yeah, from what I've seen so far, it's quite impressive and I'm quite happy. And this particular year, we gathered under the theme of the DRC shift, moving from local player to the world's leading hub for critical minerals. And that was quite interesting in the sense that the DRC has come into its own, and the DRC is coming to realize that, wait, hang on, we can't necessarily have the world setting the terms of engagement when it comes to our own resources. We have some of the largest deposits of cobalt, if not actually the largest deposits of cobalt in the world. And it's one where the DRC is now very intentional in as far as saying to the world, we want to have control over our own supply chains, for instance. And as you also remember, there was a new law that was introduced by the government recently around the royalties that the government charges. So that's gone from 3.5% to 10%. So it's one where some countries look at nationalization, whereas the DRC did something very different, and that's how they are looking to take control over their own minerals, for instance. And these were some of the very robust discussions that were had at DRC Mining Week.
Don't ask that second question then.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. How can we ensure that the discussions held at this event are turned into action in the DRC mining sector?
So we announced a strategic board at the opening of DRC Mining Week this year. And the mandate of the board is to essentially take the conference report that will come from the event with the recommendations that were made at the event, right? With the view that the board will meet a few times in the year, and the board will then review how far the industry is moving in as far as the recommendations that were made. And then what the board then will do is that at the next edition of DRC Mining Week, the board will give a report in as far as what has been achieved over the course of the year. So the reason why we actually put that particular board together is so that DRC Mining Week is not just another talk shop, right? We want to see action stemming from DRC Mining Week, right? We want to see the industry saying, okay, this is not just another conference. This is a platform for us to action change and to ensure that we've got a voice in how the industry shapes going forward. So that's something that I'm particularly very proud of, and it's a very it's a first for us as DRC Mining Week. So yeah, I'm quite keen to see how that particular board shapes up as well.
Sounds good. 2026 is over. When is the 2027 edition taking place?
So next year we'll run from the 16th to the 18th of June. As you know, we always run in June. That's our slot. And we are quite excited. But there's a few things that we are looking at. For instance, one of the things that was suggested was that we should look at an SME hub on the floor to ensure that we integrate smaller players within the mining industry and ensure that they are also part of the conversations that happen, and then they would then be included in the value chain as well. And there are certain parts of the program that have been very popular, and we would also want to ensure that we have those happen next year. Once again, for instance, I mean, we just had the YES program, which is essentially a program that's about including the youth in the mining industry, right? And that's one program that's quite popular, and we want to ensure that we build capacity within the youth so that they can fully participate within the mining industry. We also had something that was a first for DRC Mining Week. We had a deal room that was sponsored by Annabelle, and with that particular deal room, you then had projects being pitched. And what we would want to do is we want to get to a point where at the next DRC Mining Week, we can actually speak about deal commitments that have been signed at the conference. And then over and above that, we would want to essentially speak about business that's been conducted at DRC Mining Week, where we can actually publish a number to say so much business was done at DRC Mining Week. So that's the next level of growth for us as a platform.
Well, 2026 was great, and we expect great things for 2027. Thank you for joining us, Sam.
Thank you very much, Rochelle.